how do you take, actionable information in a way that gives you the, sort of the right insights to make sure that you're making the right choices.
Technology has really transformed dentistry over the last 20 years, maybe 10 years, even more. And it continues to kind of have this exponential path where the adoption of technology, the creating of new ideas in dentistry, in technology, whether it's 3D printing, whether it's digital technology, all of it's just transforming the way care is being delivered to patients. How important do you think technology has been within the Aspen Dental family, and what kind of commitment have you made in terms of technology?
Well, it's really important. For sure, it's important for patients, and it's important for the teams, and it's continuing to shape the practice and the business every single day. And it seems like it's faster more recently. I've been doing this now for 20 plus years. And so I can remember when we still had dark rooms and didn't have digital X-rays. So I think it's speeding up, and we're big believers in making investments in technology appropriately. And we're at an inflection point right now where we're making huge investments in technology. You may or may not know, for example, at Aspen and ClearChoice, there are on-site labs in each of those locations. We have 1,000 labs.
Wow.
Analog labs, right? And you think about the digital capabilities and where they are today, and the technology and the advancements in material.
Right.
All those are going to be switched to digital. And making that investment across 1,000 locations. We mentioned implants earlier, right? To do implants right, you should have CBCTs.
Correct.
In each of the offices.
Absolutely.
We're buying 1,000 CBCTs, right? I already have 700 installed. Right, so if you're going to go you have to support the organization with the right technology, and it's really, from my perspective, really critical. We just announced a key relationship with 3M, with 3Shape in Trios for digital scanning technology, and you got to buy the digital scanners, right? And so when you think about that ecosystem, right, and how that all works, those are really critical investments for us, and will continue to shape the practices for the future. And by the way, even outside the practice, the technology that you have in other aspects, when you think about your digital tools and how you interface with the patient, right? All those things are really important, and how they leverage those digital tools in a way to make it easier for them. And then of course you got AI,
right?
And you think about that and how you use that, predictability in some cases in the scheduling center,
correct?
And thinking about the outcomes that AI can sort of produce for you. It's all over the place.
Absolutely.
So it's a fascinating time. The key is making sure you get the right ones, and you're not necessarily chasing it.
Right.
But I think we're appropriately defining our needs, and then once we go after it, and we make a decision, we're rolling it out. And
it's absolutely improving patient outcomes. I was in a dental office last week, and I needed a crown. They literally did the whole thing in a couple of hours. I was out, printed the crown, milled it, and perfectly done with the digital. They used the Trios to scan my stuff, and it was perfect. Right. It was perfect.
But even that's changing. The milling's changing. There's materials now, they're going to be printed. You're going to print a crown.
Wow. That's fascinating. On the technology side, how do you use technology to manage your business in terms of analytics? Because that's one of the big hot button items right now in the emerging DSO space, is that how do we take all the data that we have in these practice management systems and then weaponize it to convert that into insight information, and then make some decisions on it so we can take some action to produce positive outcomes?
Well, it is as I think any great organization knows, information is key, and it's moving quick, it's moving fast. We have data scientists now, right? And people who are all day thinking about how to organize your data, how to get the data to you quickly, and package it in a way that gives our teams the opportunity to assess the business everywhere, whether that's in the field, whether you're a dentist, right? Whether or not you're at Aspen, whether or not you're at Well now, right? Because it's all different.
Right.
And making sure that we understand the analytics of the business real time, because it's the law of big numbers,
Right.
right? Little changes can have big impacts, both positively and negatively, and so you're going to want to see those changes pretty quickly. And so it's like, we're making big investments and continue to make big investments in both people and technology that gives us those insights in a way that gives us, we think, I don't want to say a leg up, but a little bit of a leg up.
I mean, because if you're not measuring anything, there's no way to manage.
Yeah, our issue is not measuring anything, it's measuring too much, actually, quite frankly, right? So we haven't met a key performance indicator we don't like, and so it's sort of actually narrowing that and understanding, how do you take, actionable information in a way that gives you the, sort of the right insights to make sure that, that you're making the right choices. And, one of the things about being a larger group, a big practice like this, when you think about going back to the questions earlier around dentists, like getting comparable information,
Correct.
giving information that they can digest, and whether that's clinically comparable information or other aspects of the practice in a way that can help orientate them to get better, is one of the things that you get, and that you may not get and probably not getting in private practice in a lot of other small DSOs.